Hey guys, I'm Karina.
I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Eric.
And welcome back to the Late Podcast. Law according to Eric. So we're back, guys. Did you miss us? So as you guys saw, there was no episode that dropped last week, but the people were down with the flu. But we're back and we're better today. So staying on the theme, the topic of the stories pulled today are being sick, just in general.
Yeah, I have not gotten a flu this bad, I don't think ever. And there's some kind of weird strain going around. I'm still not 100%. I just felt kind of bad that we weren't, able to put out a podcast last week. And I almost, I'm never out of the office that long, but I was out like almost an entire week, plus the weekend days.
Yeah.
Still not 100%. I'll tell you, when I was home sick, though, I watched a really good documentary on marijuana. Mm-hmm. All documentaries should be watched that way. Thank you.
I was like, wait, what?
Thank you.
Okay, I got it.
I win.
Okay. I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Which one is faster, hot or cold?
Neither.
Hot, because you can catch a cold.
Oh, but
It was a good joke. You caught the cold?
I definitely won the dad joke this week.
Jennifer didn't say hers.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sure it's not good. But
Hey!
A bully.
Sorry. Just kidding.
No, my boss asked me why I only get sick on work days. I told him it's because of my weekend immune system.
There you go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so Eric that.
You guys are so bad.
No, we're not.
So tell the crowd we're going to try a slightly different format.
Yes.
In that this time we're going to let Karina and Jennifer respond first, and then I'm going to point out just how wrong they are.
Sure.
Oh, okay. What if you're right?
Right.
No, then I'll admit, I'm an adult. I can say when I agree with you guys. I just normally you guys are way off mark.
Okay.
Way off base, and I'm usually the only one that's correct. But
sure.
This way we'll let the audience hear your guys' perspectives first.
Okay. So today we're mixing in what would Eric do and Am I the Ass of Stars, just to make it fun. So let's start. The first one is what would Eric do?
About sickness.
Yes.
Okay.
Sickness.
All right. Fair enough.
Coworker is claiming my dish at a workplace holiday potluck made her sick and caused her miscarriage. A week ago.
Wait a minute.
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly.
Wow. All right. Start off with a bang. All right. Go ahead.
A week ago, I brought a dish to a potluck. Dish wasn't actually made by me. I bought it that morning at a grocery store. It was a turkey salad, and the expiration date was not for a few more days. Turkey salad was out for about an hour and 10 minutes, and it was put back in the fridge during cleanup. No one else that I know complained to me about being sick. She apparently got sick soon after the potluck and went home. She was around 2 or 3 months pregnant and she had a miscarriage. The turkey salad is old by now, but it's still in the office fridge. She thinks my turkey salad caused her illness because her doctor says she might have got food poisoning. I have no idea what she ate that day and what she did eat. Her friends that work with her came and got the turkey salad for quote unquote testing. It has been a week. I mean, it's probably going to be worse now than when it was fresher, but I don't know much about food science. Her friend mentioned me paying for the doctor bill, and she sent me a text saying that I should be careful what I serve, but no one else I know got sick, so I don't know. Am I responsible here? Should I get a lawyer? I don't know what to do here. Any advice? So let's start off with Jennifer and us, and then Eric.
If no one else got sick, it doesn't sound like that would be food poisoning because she has no idea what the woman ate for the rest of the day.
Yeah. And it was a potluck, so I'm imagining there was a lot more dishes around. And I just feel like, she could have ate anything, but at the same time, if no one else got sick, she could not have gotten sick at that potluck. That means no dishes there made anyone else sick.
Yeah. And she didn't make the turkey salad either. Because she bought it. So then when the store, if it was the turkey salad, which we don't even know if it was, but if it was the turkey salad, then the store, wouldn't that be the store's responsibility?
I think it would, but at the same time, wouldn't that just fall on her because she ate it? No one told her to eat it. All right, go ahead, Eric.
Okay. I think you guys missed the bigger point out of this whole question.
What was?
How fucking cheap do you have to be to go to a fucking grocery store deli counter and get a nasty ass mayonnaise-ridden turkey salad, and that's what you bring to your potluck? She clearly hates her coworkers and her office.
Yeah.
That is the most fucked up thing to bring. I mean, look, okay, first of all, the whole point of the potluck is to do like the home cooked sort of meals, and
Yeah.
everybody, it's meant to be inexpensive, right? Everybody kind of pitches in. Now, I know typically in the past when I've participated in potlucks, like with family, 90% of us bring like plates and drinks and shit.
Yeah.
Nobody really wants to cook.
Yeah.
But for an office thing, okay. But,
yeah, you're not at home making your dish
yes,
for
you
the
are.
office
You're supposed
potluck.
to. You're supposed to do something.
Oh, you're supposed to. There's a law.
No, I'm just saying that's what a potluck is supposed to be. But if you're gonna go, I'll say the lazier route, not necessarily cheaper, but the lazier route, and just buy a pre-made something. At the very least,
that's usually more expensive than making it
that's
yourself.
why I'm saying at the but not turkey salad. That's got to be
I've never
one
bought
of the
turkey
cheapest
salad.
fucking things in that deli counter.
I didn't even know they made
if you're
turkey
gonna
salad.
buy pre-made something, at least make it something edible that most people will like. You know why?
Like cookies.
or they sell like the fried chicken buckets.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you know why there's a bunch of leftover in the fridge? Because nobody fucking likes turkey salad. Who the fuck wants turkey salad?
Well, the pregnant woman liked turkey
because
salad.
she probably had some weird. She had some weird fucked up pregnancy craving. Okay, all you broads, when you get pregnant, you want these weird. People don't realize how taxing pregnancy is on the man, right? When we have to run out at 2
you're
in the
gonna
morning,
have a field day later on in one of the stories,
and find an open restaurant to satisfy whatever nasty cravings. But putting all that aside, from a legal perspective, right? If the question is what would Eric do?
Yeah.
I mean, Eric would feel terrible for that person having a miscarriage. I really doubt you can tie it to that nasty, mayonnaise-y, shitty turkey salad.
Yeah.
Testing it at this point probably is futile. If it's a dairy dish or has any dairy in it, it's probably spoiled. Yeah. The other thing, though, is, and I know that, you go by the expiration date. If the expiration date's the 31st and you buy something on the 28th, you figure you're safe. Typically, I would buy something with a little bit more shelf life.
Me too.
Just in case, right?
Yeah.
But, and honestly, I wouldn't buy a dish, like a cold dish with like mayo and meats and all these different things in it. I would buy something cooked. Yeah. Right? Because cooking things often take like salmonella out or, will kill certain bacteria. And again, the very obvious part is that nobody else seemed to have gotten sick. Yeah. But we don't know who else ate that. I mean, that's the thing. Now, so I'll say this. If the pregnant person was the only person to eat this nasty, fucked up turkey salad and got sick and miscarried, chances are it was the turkey salad. If other people had it and she was the only one that got sick, it may have been attributed to something else. Could have been a combination of things. Could have been her just body had an allergic reaction to something. You don't know. I honestly don't know enough about science to know if like different types of foods or reactions can cause a miscarriage. I really don't know.
I didn't even know food poisoning could cause a miscarriage.
I honestly don't know.
Yeah, it can. That much I knew. Okay.
But, so I guess it's plausible.
Yeah.
But I think it would be next to impossible to tie it to that one dish, especially if nobody else got sick, unless she's the only person that ate it. And even then, if she ate other things too, it still could have been something else that just reacted with her differently. Yeah. But nonetheless, I just think it's worth pointing out that in the future, family, come on, fam, listeners, if you're invited to a potluck, splurge on the extra $5 and just get the fucking chicken bucket or some pasta.
Chickens. The little rotisserie chickens, the little purse chickens.
Get like a cold pasta salad, like something without meat, like without, something like that. And if you're gonna get meat, please get it cooked. Yeah. I mean, I know it's supposed to be cooked already, like it's cold, but it's cooked. But I don't know. The whole thing just freaks me out. I hate those kinds of salads anyway. I can't stand mayonnaise. Thinking about this question is making me sicker than I already am.
My God.
That's all I have to say about that.
But a pregnant woman readily ate the turkey salad. Yeah. That means she wasn't afraid of it.
No, she wasn't.
And God only knows what else she was eating.
Exactly. She was just eating everything at the potluck. So
we don't know that. It doesn't say.
That's true. Well, he doesn't know, or she.
No, that's what I'm saying. Look, one of the first things you learn in law school is you can't just make shit up. You got to go with the facts as they're given to you. Facts here is that she ate that, but we don't know if she ate anything else. Yeah. And we don't know if anybody else tried it. Yeah. But because we don't have enough facts, I think it would be impossible to link that specific dish to this particular illness. Again, it's a terrible tragedy. I mean, all kidding aside. Yeah. It's a terrible outcome, and I feel terrible for somebody to have to experience that and go through it. I don't know that this person is responsible. Yeah. I don't know that they really need a lawyer. I don't know that they're subject to termination or anything like that. It's just a tragic, terrible mishap or accident. I think, unfortunately, it just has to be chalked up as that.
All right. Well, next one.
All right.
Am I the asshole for having a craving of something that my partner gets sick from?
Oh, no.
I, 25 female, recently found out I was pregnant with your favorite word, my partner, Lyle, his baby. His name's Lyle. We've been together for 3 years and we live together. Lyle has ADHD, which he refuses to get treatment and medication for. He's
Yeah,
pretty
he was
normal.
able to maintain long enough to get her pregnant?
Yeah.
He didn't get distracted? Sorry. I'm sorry. All right, go ahead.
He's pretty normal, though 85% of the time, so I haven't really pushed it. One thing that really affects him, though, is his sensory problems. He has a few, but the biggest one is bananas. He cannot stand the smell of a banana or the taste of the banana. He accidentally has eaten something with banana before, and he has ran to the bathroom like a child to throw it up. If we are somewhere and someone is eating a banana, he will claim that he can smell it in the room and make us move with the threat that he will get sick. And if we don't move, he will start gagging, he'll make himself throw up, and I've seen him even start shaking. This has happened in public before, and it's extremely embarrassing. Anywho, let me tell you what happened. I was really tired, pregnant, and hormonal yesterday, and while I was watching a show, I had a craving for a banana, which I normally avoid when I'm around Lyle, but pregnancy cravings are just too strong to resist. He was going to get groceries from work, so I called and asked him to get me some bananas because I was having a craving. He started begging me before he even got them to not eat them inside of the house. I got fed up and I told him no. I was carrying around his child, and the least he could do about it, since he's not the one having to nurture the damn thing in the stomach, was to get me a banana. I read a line that this was probably the baby's way of telling me it's deficient in potassium, and that all I could really stand to eat at this point was that damn banana, and I don't really want to deprive it of what it needs. He argued back and forth, asking me to eat it outside at least, and out of frustration, I started crying, which made me feel embarrassed. He finally gave in to calm me down and brought it home. I'll admit I was still very upset and from our argument on the phone when he came home. In the moment, I couldn't face getting up and going to the kitchen, so when he came home into the living room and sat on the couch, I asked him to go get the banana, peel it, cut it, and then bring it to me.
Bitch.
Okay, that's good.
I
I'm
know.
just saying, yeah. I mean, I was on her side up till about now, but go ahead.
I agree.
I really didn't think it was a big deal, but he blew up at me and told me that I knew it made him sick to even smell or touch it. I told him that plenty of people have foods they don't like, and he either needs to grow up or seek help for his illness because he's acting like a child and his problem with bananas is completely abnormal. We argued a bit more. He finally got up, yelled that he was tired of my bullshit, and left the house. He hasn't been back yet. I get his issues are a sensitive topic for him, and when I was talking to my friend about it, she said she had an autistic sister, and what I did was a bit messed up. So Reddit, and you guys, am I the asshole?
Well, I'm going to let you guys handle that one first.
Jen?
These two should not be parents. They just shouldn't.
Yeah. Most baby food has banana. Am I right?
A lot. Well,
right?
I mean, banana. It's a very easy food. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
it's easily mushed. It's
Yeah.
easily eaten. But there's just so many things there. You know, like first of all, she didn't need to make him cut up the banana.
Yeah, that was
Right. That's a little excessive. It seems like she was trying to punish him in some weird way. And secondly, if she wanted to have, why can't he go outside while she eats the banana?
too. No, yeah, actually, that's a good point.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Why should she
Yeah.
have to? Why should the pregnant woman
Yeah,
have to go outside to eat her banana?
exactly.
But really, she should. She's a grown up. She should be able to peel her banana on her own.
Right, so I think in the beginning, I was siding with her, and I was like, I get it. Like, she wants a banana. It's not that hard to just pick up the banana and bring it home. I think what she did was out of just like anger of like being like, go peel it, like cut it and bring it back to me. I think that was just her being petty about the whole situation. Yeah. I don't think she had to go that far, but I do think he needs help because it's not that easy. I don't like bananas, but I can cut one up if someone needs it or like peel it. I don't mind about that. And I like hate bananas. So I just feel like he's either not really that like, sickened by it and he's just acting. Maybe it's something he hates and he's just being childish about it, but I don't know. That's I do think she's an asshole though.
Oh, I definitely think she is. But let me explain a little bit. So, if this were for the baby's actual consumption, I don't mean the baby growing in her womb. I mean if she had given birth and this was a meal being made for the baby, because I remember my ex used to mush bananas and other things together, and she used to make her own like little homemade stuff and blend them and all that stuff. That'd be one thing. Okay. There are all sorts of fabulous prenatal vitamins that have plenty of potassium and all the other things that she fucking needs. She knew that this guy has an abnormal aversion to this particular food. Forget that it's a banana because it makes it sound funny. Substitute it with anything you want.
Yeah.
I have a absolute disgust for ranch dressing. People love ranch. People, constantly want ranch on everything. The smell of ranch makes me sick. The sight of ranch, I'm serious.
Yeah.
No, so I understand a little bit. Now, I'm not completely obsessive. Like if somebody has ranch in front of me and dips their wings, like I don't freak out. I don't like it. I don't usually watch them eat it, but okay.
Yeah.
But clearly this guy is a little on the spectrum. Maybe he's got a touch of the tism. And
where did you learn that?
You never heard that before?
No, I have. But where did you get that from? It's like trending on TikTok now.
No, I didn't know that, but because my oldest daughter works with autistic kids, and she said it once, and I picked up on it, and I kind of thought it was.
The trends on there's like a sound. It's like, oh, that's the tism.
Yeah, well, he definitely seems like he has a touch of the tism. But having said all that, is it really that big of a deal for her if she knows that he honestly reacts the way he does, and he can get sick and throw up? And he has to move restaurant. I mean, this is not a new thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So it seems like she just made a decision that she was going to hold him to task.
Yeah.
Or she didn't give a shit. She wanted her banana.
Yeah.
So honestly, I maybe he overreacted. Like, I don't know if I'd leave the house. I wouldn't leave my pregnant partner or whatever, like on her own. But I would be like, yeah, bitch, get out and eat your fucking banana. And
why wouldn't you go outside though?
Maybe I would. Yeah. Maybe I would be like, okay, look, I'll tell you what, I'll be back in an hour.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe, but I'm more rational. Maybe he's clearly this is an issue for him. And if she's aware that he has certain traits, ADHD, a touch of autism, whatever they want, a little on the spectrum, you call it anything you want. She's well aware.
Yeah.
Right. So this is clearly something that was done intentionally to upset him or cause this scene or gauge a reaction or whatever. She's fucking sadistic. She shouldn't be a parent. Okay. God knows how she's going to torture her fucking kids if they don't eat their peas or whatever. So yes, she's the asshole. He's a close second because the reactions I do think are disproportionate. It's just still at the end of the day, it's just a fucking banana. Okay. And
that would give me the ick in a guy.
But I'm just saying.
Like,
and you know what? Honestly, you know what she deserved? She should have ripped open that banana, started eating it, and he just should have fucking threw up all over her.
Yeah.
And that's what she gets. So yeah, she's the asshole, and it's unfortunate that people have to go to Reddit over something like this, but yeah, definitely she's.
Well, Reddit did say she was asshole
for sure.
Too.
Well, I mean, Reddit's never really right, but we're right. I'm right.
These two are both children. They are.
Yeah.
They're
well, it's only 25,
right.
But even at 25, that's what I'm saying. They're together 3 years. 25, 26. They're together 3 years. This is not something she's just learning about him now. So, sometimes you just have to make little sacrifices. Yeah. That's all. So,
I get that. I do think that would give me the ick.
Maybe, but
like you're gonna throw up you're gonna make yourself throw up in public because you smell a banana. Like that's just so. That's embarrassing.
But he wants to. But he says, "Let's move tables. Let's He may be OCD when it comes to the bananas. There's maybe a real other disorder, whatever it is. But, but again, there are so many other things that could be wrong with people that are much, much worse.
Yeah.
So my response to this lady, this pregnant woman, is fucking suck it up. Okay. Take a pass on the fucking banana, or just go to the other room, or whatever. Go eat in your car like everybody does now, and they film themselves and they do a fucking banana review. Who cares? Just grow the fuck up. Sorry, that's all I gotta say.
I think the bigger picture is that being a parent is really stressful, and if these two can't figure out this darn banana situation before the kid comes, they're screwed.
I know. Yeah. What if the kid wanted a banana and he was just like, no, absolutely not. Like she's gonna deny the kid of bananas. The kid's never gonna have potassium.
Yeah, you need to get over stuff.
Yeah.
When you have a child, because there's just too many things that come up that you have to compromise on.
Yeah.
And I think there comes a point in every parent's life where you're like, okay, it's not about me anymore.
Yeah,
it's about this kid, and I just need to push down whatever idiosyncrasies I have.
Yeah. All right. Well, next one. This is what would Eric do? Could I potentially sue my boss for making me prove that I'm not pregnant before calling out sick? For a bit of background info, I'm 20 and I work at a Dunkin'. This morning, I got up and I got ready for work when I started throwing up. I even threw up in my work shirt. I called my boss and I told her that I couldn't come in and explain the situation. Now, it's important to note that the only other time I ever called out was about 2 weeks ago, also for throwing up. There have been a few times I have bit the bullet and went to work while throwing up and stayed for the duration of my shift. When I called my boss, she said, "You've been throwing up a lot lately. Are you sure you're not pregnant? I'm not going to let you call out because of morning sickness." I told her I'm not, and she told me that I had to send her a picture of a negative pregnancy test if I wanted to call out without getting written up. I gave my neighbor some money to go get to go to the store and grab a test for me that I didn't even need. So now I'm out $20 as well, and sent my boss a picture. About 20 minutes ago, I got a text from a coworker saying, "Congrats on the baby, but we're really short and we're really short staffed today. Alex, not her real name, is pregnant, but she still shows up to work." Even if I could, I probably wouldn't sue, but fuck, this pissed me off so much. One of the supervisors literally calls out at least once a week and no one has a problem with it. But because I'm a woman, my honesty and integrity is called into question. I've been here for almost 8 months and this is the second time I've ever called out. What would you do if you were me?
Well, you guys want to take that one first?
Wow. Okay, the whole pregnancy test thing, that's just weird.
Mm-hmm.
What difference does it make whether or not she's pregnant? I don't get that at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't seem like that's any of her boss's business.
Well, her boss said she wouldn't let her like call out without like being written up if she couldn't prove to her it wasn't morning sickness. Because she was like, if you're morning sickness, you still have to come to work.
But what difference does it make if it's morning sickness or not morning sickness?
Exactly.
It's just, it's there, whatever it is. Whatever stomach problem she's having, it shouldn't matter whether or not she's pregnant.
Right. I also feel like it was the fact that the other employee texted her congrats on the baby and the test was negative. So that means the boss was going around telling people she had morning sickness and that's why she couldn't come into work. And I feel like that should be the bigger issue here because now she's spreading like rumors around, right?
Well, that is an issue. It's interesting. I don't think that whether somebody is sick from pregnancy, morning sickness, pregnancy is morning sickness, or just they woke up sick. I don't think that one thing has nothing to do with the other.
Yeah.
If you are ill, if you are throwing up, if you're potentially contagious, you have a duty to not go in and infect your coworkers.
Especially if she works at Dunkin', that's food.
Yeah, but even wherever she works,
Yeah.
it's, if she works with other people.
Yeah.
And the fact that her boss is saying, well, you need to still come. No, you don't need to come in. If you're ill, if you don't feel well, if you are, in this case, clearly throwing up. No, whether it's because of pregnancy or not, doesn't really matter. And if she is pregnant, if she's a full-time employee, she'll get FMLA. If she's in California, she can, or actually it's federal, medical leave, pregnancy leave and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I do not think she's in the wrong. I think her supervisor is terrible for doing that.
Yeah.
For people texting her on her personal phone about, that's all of this. There are so many red flags about this. It's sad that it's Dunkin' because I like Dunkin', but
really?
Yeah. Well, I like their coffee.
Really?
They actually make good breakfast sandwiches.
See, I tried Dunkin'. I tried to like it, but they never make my drink the same way. And I hate that. Like every time I could order the same drink 5 times. They're never going to make it the same way. So I just can't. No. I can't keep going back for that.
Well, I believe it or not, interestingly enough, I think the worst part about Dunkin' is their donuts, which is what they're supposed to be known for. But their donuts are terrible.
No, their donuts suck.
But I mean, this is more of a serious question in a sense. I mean, it's kind of messed up, and the title is a little funny for a second, but honestly, nobody really should be subjected to that, especially if they're not feeling well. And if she is pregnant, I mean, I guess she's not, and that's fine. But especially if she were, why would you put extra stress on someone? Yeah. And tell them, well, if you're pregnant and with morning sickness, you can't call out. You say, fuck you. You're not going to risk a pregnancy and a child and health, to go work at the fucking donut shop. And
I would have told her, send me the money for a pregnancy test, and then I'll go get it if you want it that bad.
Well, I know. See, that's the other thing too. I don't think she had to do that. I think that she did it because she felt under pressure,
and she didn't want to get rid of it. Yeah,
but legally, she had no obligation to do that. And so, and I wouldn't hurt. Say, look, you were the one insisting that I couldn't call out if I was pregnant, so I had to prove it to you. And now I'm out this. And look, I don't want to be a jerk, or insensitive, but $20 is probably a lot to her. She works at Dunkin'.
Yeah, she's 20 too.
I mean, how much is she making?
Yeah.
So
that's a whole probably less than an hour. Honestly,
that's what I'm saying. It's an hour's worth of her work, or more than what it would cost her to work an hour after taxes. So there's just bullshit all over that. So I wouldn't put up with that.
Yeah. All right. Next one. Listen, am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for putting my kid's non-emergency surgery over my sick girlfriend? A little backstory. I, 37 male, have 2 kids. My daughter, AF, was adopted from India 5 years ago. Her right leg is completely malformed, and we were told that we were going to need to amputate part of it so she can have a proper prosthetic. When she came home, we used a custom prosthetic that worked with her, but it was clear that wouldn't last forever. My late wife and I said we wanted to wait until she was fully settled into the family before getting the surgery. 2 years later, my wife passed away for reasons I don't want to share, and that really put everything on hold. It was a very hard adjustment, and I also started dating my girlfriend 8 months ago. She has 3 kids who get along with my kids, and even though she's only met my kids like 3 times, she's pretty nice to them. Well, 5 months ago, I finally got the surgery scheduled for last week. Also last week, my girlfriend started feeling sick. We both got negative tests, so it wasn't COVID. But she was okay until 2 days ago. That morning, she called me and said she was feeling really sick and that she needed to come over. That was the day of my daughter's surgery. I said I couldn't come over and she got really annoyed. She kept throwing it in my face that the doctors had called it a non-emergency surgery. She suggested that I drop my 8-year-old off at the hospital and then come over to her to tend to her. I, of course, said no, and then she suggested I could come over while she's in surgery because the surgery takes about an hour. I wanted to be there in case anything happened, so again, I said no. The surgery went well, and my daughter's currently home and resting, but my girlfriend has been ignoring me. She said to a mutual friend that I'm not even trying to make compromises here. I don't think I should have to compromise on my kids in surgery. Am I the asshole here?
No. Dump this woman. That is so messed up.
Drop an 8-year-old off at the hospital and come tend to me because I'm sick.
That there are just no words.
Yeah.
This is the most clear cut one we've ever had.
Yeah.
No, that woman's horrible.
And she has 3 kids of her own, so she's a mom. It's not like she doesn't have kids. Would she drop her kids off at the hospital and just be like, "Yeah, I'll be back"?
Well, that's the problem. She might, right? But that doesn't mean that it's okay.
Yeah, that's
right?
true. That's
and certainly this guy is not the asshole.
Yeah.
For not wanting to leave his 8-year-old in surgery,
Yeah.
even a minor or what they call an elective or non-emergency. Yeah. First of all surgeries have risk.
Yeah.
Right. So there's no. I can't even. Jennifer's right. There are no words. This is a sincerely needy, problematic woman. This is a fucking widow with adopted children. He's trying to give a better life to, fit up prosthetics so they can have a normal or as close to a normal childhood as possible. There are so many things I want to say, but honestly, I'm afraid I'll get sick and lose my voice again if I go off. Fuck this woman. Fuck her other kids. This guy needs to get as far away from this crazy bitch as possible.
Yeah.
They're literally, I cannot even believe that she would, and now she's ghosting him as if he doesn't.
And talking shit, he doesn't compromise
for
me.
Blessing in disguise. If I were that guy, I'd be like, you know what? I understand you don't want to talk to me anymore. Best of luck to you. Fuck off. That would be it. And he should not even feel a smidge bad about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what does she want him to compromise? How is that even a compromise?
It's not. It's just disgusting.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a natural child, if it's an adopted child. It's somebody that you're responsible for, and they have a medical issue.
Yeah.
And, I don't even need to say it. If anybody in the audience disagrees, stop listening. Seriously, we don't need your one more. Give a shit. By the way, having said that, I was informed before we started that we're now just over 600. Mm-hmm. Remember, guys, we break 1,000. I'll tell you the infamous bird story. That's number one. Number two, I'm no longer giving shout outs to Insomnia Cookies. Fuck them.
Yeah. They never reached back out to me.
No.
What changed?
They just.
You lost the love and feeling?
No, they just never responded. I'm still going to order because they're good. But I'm not going to do it now to coincide with the podcast and say they clearly don't care. So if we have a craving, we'll get them. But, other than that, hashtag fuck Insomnia. Mm-hmm. So, okay.
Okay. Next one is what would Eric do? Right. Fired right after using my sick days. California.
Okay.
I have been working for this company for about 4 months now. I've been here since they opened the doors and I've helped them get the place up and running. A couple of weeks ago, I had to have an emergency surgery and was out of work for 2 weeks. I sent my employer a picture of my doctor's note and she said she didn't even need to see it. She believed that I needed the 2 weeks off. About a week into my recovery, she texted me twice, asked me to come in before my doctor's note said I could. Mind you, my doctor had told me 3 weeks and I told him I'd like to get back in 2 weeks so I could fulfill my needs at work. Upon my return, the owner of the company asked me to fill out 3 incident reports for things that happened while I was out of work. I told her no because this was illegal. It literally says on top of the piece of paper, must be filled out by the person witnessing the incident. Because I told her no for that, she started treating me so differently, saying that I refused to do things she asked of me. The same day, she told 2 other staff members to stop washing dishes because that now was strictly my job. That same week, she claimed I forgot to change a client's linens after they moved rooms, which has never happened before. And she claims I also forgot to log in my shift notes at the end of the shift. I wasn't giving a warning or anything for these things at the time. At this moment, I've never even had a write-up. This last Thursday, I started throwing up at work. I finished my shift and I texted my boss telling her I was sick and probably wouldn't be until the morning. I requested to use a sick day. He told me I only had 5 hours of sick time and we were going back and forth. I texted him a screenshot of the California law for acquiring sick time and my boss told me that I was correct. I did have 14 hours to use. She asked me if I would like to use a sick day for Saturday as well, and I said yes. She then changes my schedule from 1 to 5:30, so it just made no sense. But When I arrived today, she asked me to come into her office. She pulls out 4 different disciplinary action reports for 4 different incidents, 3 of them being the ones I mentioned above. They're all dated with the same date with her signature. She then asked me to sign them, which I did. After that, she pulls out a different one of something she states that a client said. The statements were that the client has seen me in a bad mood, that I was rude to the client, that I made him uncomfortable, and a bunch of other lies. Underneath it says, we cannot say which client it is because of HIPAA law. This has all clearly been retaliation in my opinion. She gave me a termination letter and it has all 3 things of which she claims that I broke the policy, which I didn't do, but she did that on purpose so I can't collect unemployment. She even used the word insubordination in one of my write-ups, and that's a clear disqualification for trying to apply for unemployment. Shouldn't she have just written me up for these things when they actually happened? Can she actually give me these write-ups on the same day and fire me? What would you do if you were me?
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
It sounds like the boss from hell.
Literally.
Yeah, I'm a little out of my scope of practice here because I don't know what the law is as far as unemployment is, but the boss sounds like a jerk.
Yeah. I think the boss just was trying to retaliate because she wouldn't sign those, honestly, especially like the whole sick time when she was like, oh, you only have 5 hours. And when she sent her like the actual California law, she was like, you're right, you have 14 hours. So I think she just thought she was dumb. She didn't know these laws and she's trying to do it. I'm not sure if she can give her those write-ups from different days but signed on the day that she chose.
Yeah, I'd probably consult with a labor attorney on this. I don't practice that area, so I don't know all the intricacies and details, but clearly she had sick time allotted to her that she was free to use. She had a doctor's note already. She probably shouldn't have agreed to come in earlier than the 2 weeks to begin with.
Yeah.
Maybe the employer could argue that they waived that whole time or they didn't need the additional time. But she was obviously sick. She's going to have to indicate that she was pressured into coming back early.
And she was even texted while on that break. Yeah.
All of those things are sort of improper. I also think the idea of asking her to sign an incident report claiming that she witnessed something she didn't witness, I think would create grounds to say that it was retaliatory.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be, I wouldn't be so quick to not do anything about it.
Yeah.
She should still apply for unemployment. She should explain her position to the California EDD. If they deny it, she should appeal it. And I would definitely get a labor attorney.
Yeah.
The only thing I think maybe against her, and I don't know the particular company she works for or their policy, but she might have been on a probationary period. Like sometimes you start with an employer and the first 90 days or 6 months,
Maybe, yeah.
And so if that's the case, often they put in their employment agreements. But by the way, California is an at-will state. So employers can terminate an employee for any reason, as long as it's not like gender-based or religion or ethnicity or sexual orientation. But I can literally come in and say, you know what, I just don't think your performance is very good.
Yeah.
I can fire someone and I'm allowed to do that. Right. But what I can't do is I can't create false narratives or, have somebody do something illegal or improper and then fire them if they don't do it. So that might be one of those grounds, right? And if they had just said to her, listen, we just don't think your performance is up to par and we've had some complaints, that probably would have been it. So it's almost like they were so concerned, like they overcovered themselves or overcompensated. And I think that's a bigger red flag. So I would definitely take another step if I were her. Okay. And I would talk to a labor attorney and I would definitely apply for the unemployment benefits.
I know. Yeah. Poor girl. All right. Next one. Am I the asshole for refusing to help my husband when he's sick? My husband, 42 male, and I, 36 female, have been married for 6 years with 3 kids, 6 male, 3 female, and 1 female. And we both work. I work from home, so I do most of the chores until he comes home at 6, and he helps with the kids while I cook dinner for all of us. When I cook, he'll clean the dishes and put the kids to bed while I FaceTime my parents for an hour. That's weird, but okay. This has worked for us. I know every day, but I was like, okay. This has worked for us until recently. My husband fell ill and was out of work for the past week, so everything fell on me, and I was left taking care of the kids while he slept all day doing absolutely nothing to help me. Well, I planned a girls' day with my sister, 40 female, and my cousin, 30 female, where I could just relax and catch up with them. He asked me if I could reschedule because in his condition, he really couldn't watch the kids. I told him absolutely not, and that it was time that he started watching them since I've been doing it all by myself for the past week. He tried to argue that he was sick and wasn't at his best right now, and he didn't want the kids to get sick. I told him to suck it up and then left to meet my sister and my cousin outside. When I got back, he wouldn't talk to me. I could tell by his face that he was still sick, but the kids had been fed and the house was clean, so he must not be that sick, right? I tried talking to him.
I mean, go ahead, but oh my God.
I tried talking to him, but he just told me that he needs some space and decided to sleep in the guest room tonight. I'm really confused by why he's mad when he knew about this day already. I just don't think it's fair that I have to cancel my plans that I made in advance when he just has a cold. I've had the sniffles before and I still watched the kids while he picked up the slack that I couldn't. I really think he's overreacting, but am I the asshole here?
Yes. I think so.
I don't think so.
Really?
No.
Oh, here we go. Girl power.
Well, honestly, it depends how sick he was. I don't know if he just had the sniffles or.
Well, she said
if
it's just
he's-
a cold.
Yeah, that's what she said, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but listen, having just come off of a very severe flu,
Yeah.
I can tell you that if I had little kids and I honestly, I'm not joking, I'm not exaggerating. I could barely function.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't able to, like, I was like extreme body aches.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't really go up and down. I was,
Yeah.
not eating well. I was always nauseous, constantly having to take meds, coughing. So
Yeah.
we don't, and what she might consider to be not severe or whatever, that's not for her to decide.
That's true because men get sick a lot like worse than women do.
Well,
I
even if they don't, it's not a
Yeah.
question of that. It's about
Like-
his perception.
or like they just take
And by
it.
the way, if those kids are younger, they might be susceptible to pick up whatever he may
Yeah,
have.
because the baby's one. The
Like,
youngest
why
one's
on
one.
earth? Like,
Yeah.
why the fuck would you leave a 1-year-old with somebody who's sick, whether it's a cold or a flu, if it's contagious, and you're going to trust this person to take care of you
That's
because
true.
you're going to have your fucking girl day with your sister? Bullshit.
Put
I
the
would
kids
be
in front of the TV and go back to sleep. You'll be
no,
fine.
no, kids. The 1-year-old. You can't do that to a 1-year-old.
Have you ever been with a 1-year-old?
Not for that long.
That doesn't work.
Yeah, and I mean, okay, so, and let me just say, it sounds like, but for this illness, this wouldn't have been an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I bet you it's not the first time she's had her little girls' day and he's picked up slack. No,
Yeah.
It sounds like they do that for each other. So the fact that she decided that, this was like much more important than his well-being and her kids' well-being just tells me that she's a filthy cunt and she should just be, he should sleep in the guest room full time.
Uh-huh.
And just, I know they have little kids and all that. No, I'm serious when I say they should go to counseling
Mm-hmm.
or something because I see that as extremely selfish on her part, to be honest. And I see that as extremely unreasonable. Nobody knows how somebody feels unless you're that person.
That's true.
You might think that it's no big deal. You might think it's just a cold.
That's true.
I can tell you that I have a weaker or more like I'm immunocompromised.
Mm-hmm.
When I get sick, it's usually, let's say, not to exaggerate, 1.5 times harder than somebody else that would get the same kind of thing. Takes me 30-40% longer to recuperate.
Yeah. No, I get that because I do too. Like my immune system's not that well, and I have bronchitis and all that. So if I get sick, like I'm going down too. So I get it. I get
That's
like
what I'm saying.
sick,
So we don't know, right, how severe it is. But the fact that he's like, look, I just can't do this today. You got to kind of believe him, even if you don't. Even if you don't think it's real, you know what? You got to give him the benefit of the doubt on this one.
Yeah.
So what would Eric do? Eric would put his middle finger up and say, "Fuck you."
Who's in him? I the asshole.
Oh well, no, she is. He's not, and that's it.
Reddit said she wasn't the asshole.
Reddit's wrong again. I'm sorry, Reddit's wrong again.
Yeah. All right. Next one. This one's what would Eric do?
All right.
Are you ready for this one?
I'll try.
Neighbor called the police because our Wi-Fi is making her sick.
Why
You didn't say that with a serious face. We live in your typical suburban residential neighborhood of single-family homes. Our neighbor is a quack who believes that Wi-Fi and EMF make her and her children sick. She is part of an advocacy group for this issue and causes a stink everywhere, from the local schools to the state level. She homeschools her children because the Wi-Fi allegedly also makes them sick too. When she first moved in, she informed us of her illness and asked if we could consider swapping out the mechanisms on our water meter that allows the water company to read it from the street. Being neighborly, we had agreed to, but when the water company showed up to install the analog device and informed us that it would be $95, the neighbor refused to pay it, so we called it off. The water meter also happens to be on the opposite side of her house. Last night, an officer came by around 8 p.m. looking for my husband and would not tell us what it was about. Worried sick, he rushed home and called the dispatch, who didn't know anything but sent an officer over. Around 9 p.m., the officer came to discuss a potential Americans with Disability Act violation, quote unquote, regarding our water meter and the Wi-Fi. The officer was accusatory and made it seem like we were doing something wrong and kept mentioning the issue would be sent up the chain, quote unquote, and is going to the governor's office.
The officer said that?
Yes.
Okay.
She is so vocal that I don't doubt she is taking up her issue with the governor. Keep in mind, our Wi-Fi barely even holds signal from one side of the house to the other. It's a crappy router.
That's all irrelevant. Go ahead. It doesn't matter.
You're saying it's not like military grade here. At this point,
even if it was, it's not the point. Go ahead.
we are not willing to make any concessions for her, as this is total quackery. Every reputable article I've read says that Wi-Fi sickness is not real. What should I do in this situation? Is there anything the governor could actually do to us?
No. But go ahead, guys. You guys.
Wait. The police officer was taking the side of the crazy anti-Wi-Fi woman?
Yes, and he's sending up this. This is getting sent up the chain, and it's going to the governor.
That is bizarre. AF. I have never met a police officer that would give a shit about.
This must be like her nephew or something.
I was gonna say this is like a favor or something.
Yeah, she's giving some money to the police league or something.
And you could be the governor of the smallest fucking state like Rhode Island. No governor has time to deal with this kind of bullshit.
No, Wi-Fi sickness is so stupid.
It's ridiculous. It's unfortunate that there are like that level of conspiracy theorists out there, but you know what? There's you can check online. Like for example, like 30-something% of Americans think angels are real. Yeah. There's like 12% of Americans think Elvis is still alive. I mean, it's just there's a significant percentage that think that Trump actually did win the election. I mean, it's just ridiculous what people will buy into.
Yep.
And I do think, to be honest, sorry, I do think, to be honest, that the pandemic and people having been forced to stay at home for so long definitely like fueled a lot of these weirdos and get all these like weird YouTube nuts putting stuff out there and, like,
everywhere. Yeah.
Crazy like InfoWar guys and stupid stuff like that. If I were them, what would Eric do? Eric would just fucking ignore it. If it kept getting worse and it's like she kept calling the cops on me, honestly, I would get a restraining order.
Yeah.
Like, how does that work? It's civil harassment.
With neighbors, though.
It's civil harassment. I would file a complaint, with my local city attorney's office or DA, say, look, she constantly does this. She's wasting taxpayer money. And there are police departments, for example, that will charge you. If you make a false report or you waste their time, they'll bill you. And that's what I would ask them to do. Fucking bill her for that. Right? Because we're not doing anything here other than, and I don't know. I maybe I missed it. I'm not sure what the fucking water meter has to do with anything.
The EMF something.
There's no EMF in a water, pump or whatever. Like it's all stupid.
But that's the power company, isn't it?
Well, not just that, but and by the way, if it's up to code, what the fuck does she want?
And it's not even on her side; it's on the other side of the house.
I don't care where it is. It's not the point. These are installed by third-party utility companies and providers.
Exactly.
So what would Eric do? Eric would probably seek to get a restraining order, or I would get an attorney to maybe fire off a really strong letter like, stop fucking harassing me, you crazy fucking broad, and your ridiculous beliefs. Okay? I'm going to tell you a true story. I can't name names, but I knew somebody that I was close to that believed that if you surrounded a bunch of unpopped popcorn and then had your cell phones go off, it would make the kernels pop. And we actually tried it just to be fun, for fun. Of course it didn't work. But my point is, you never really know what people are willing to consume as far as information and how much credibility they give it. Right? So like that show Better Call Saul, like in the beginning, like the guys, Saul's brother had like, he would wear the tinfoil hat, right? I
knew this lady, when they did that whole alarm system, like back a couple months ago now, she wrapped herself in tinfoil because she said that was the government trying to get to them. She wrapped herself and posted herself on Facebook, wrapping herself alone.
Yeah, I know. Just like there are people that believe that the COVID vaccines are really chips implanted so the government can watch our movements and monitor us. Listen, all I can say is this: if the government has that much interest in where I go and what I do, chances are it's not going to be through a vaccine.
Exactly.
You're like Al Capone level if the government cares that much about where you go and what you do. Most average citizens, trust me, they don't have the time or resources to give a shit.
Yeah.
So for all the stated reasons, I would take some affirmative steps to just try to put an end to it. I wouldn't worry about this going to the governor or anything like that.
To be petty, it would be funny. Those the LED lights with the middle finger sticking up on the cars? I'd stick them on the windows that just face her house. So every time she looks over, you should just see the middle finger on all those little LED lights going at her house.
I would totally do that.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be around Wi-Fi, then you need to live in the boonies.
Yeah.
Where can you can't be among people and not be around Wi-Fi.
She can go live in buttfuck Kansas. I don't know. You know, like I don't know.
Yeah, wherever it is, it's just sad. But
I know. All right, this is an am I the asshole one?
All right.
Am I the asshole for saying that I expect sick days as a stay-at-home mom?
I'm sorry, as a stay-at-home mom?
Yes. She's asking for sick days.
Like from her husband?
Yes.
Okay. Right. I understand this better now.
This is reminding me of our other story.
This is going to be another doozy, but okay.
So I'm a stay-at-home mom to 4 children, 10, 7, 13, and 18 months. I homeschooled and I have since the beginning. I also have several chronic illnesses, Crohn's, POTS, EADS, CFS, and ADHD. I know. Generally, I function okay. I'm tired all the time, but our house is reasonably clean. I cook every meal from scratch due to food sensitivities, and my kids consistently test above grade level. Hubby is a salesman and makes a decent income. He is generally a great dad and husband, and he's a great dad and husband and helps loads when he's home. He gets 12 sick days a year paid on top of vacation time. He loses them at the end of the year if they're not used. He typically only uses 1 to 2 sick days a year. I told hubby if I had a full-time job, I would get sick days. I deal with my symptoms well most days, but some days I'm dealing with nearly fainting, extremely low blood pressure, dizziness to the point that I can barely walk. Other days I'm in tremendous pains from Crohn's. I told him I wanted to reserve 6 of his sick days for those kinds of days. He said no. I function just fine and I don't need sick days. I said he either gives me emergency days or I'll hire a sitter for those days. We have no family nearby and I rarely get help from hubby if he's away. He says I'm being unreasonable and I can just sit the kids in front of the DVD player on bad days. Am I the asshole here?
Okay, first of all, send your kids to school.
That's not the issue here, Jennifer. That's not the issue here.
It would help.
It would.
Unless she's using the older kids as babysitters, which is
a 10-year-old?
possible.
Oh, they're 13.
No, there's no 13. There's 10, 7, 3, and 18 months.
10, 7, 3. Oh,
Yeah.
18 months.
Yeah. No, I mean, 18-month-old is going to be a handful, but see, I do not get people who homeschool. I don't.
I don't get people who made food. Okay, we're back. Sorry, we had technical difficulties, but as you were saying.
The government sponsored Wi-Fi that's messing with our.
I know. That was that lady coming back.
Well, along those notes, I know a lot of people have issues with the schools that they're being indoctrinated.
Yeah,
just send your kids to school.
I know. I think she's doing this to herself. She's making food from scratch. I've seen people like make their own bread and stuff on TikTok, and I just think that's such a hassle. Bread's not even expensive. Food's not that expensive. Go buy fucking food. You're spending more money making food from fucking scratch, anyways.
Well, she might be doing that just as a means of keeping herself occupied or having things to do with the kids too.
Maybe.
But in response to that, I don't think she's the asshole here.
Yeah, they voted her not the asshole.
Yeah, no, but I think she could have written it a little bit better, maybe a little less entitled,
Yeah.
But I think the gist of what she's saying is, look, I have these ailments. He knows about it. Mm-hmm. There are going to be days that are better than others. And on those days that it's really hard on me and you've got the time, could you just do that? Now, pre-scheduling 6 out of the 12 or whatever, I think that's a little unnecessary. I just think that it should be one of those things where if they just sit down and have a civil discussion with each other and say, look, sweetheart, there's going to be days where I just need your help. I need you to stay home with me. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be every day, and I don't think it'll become a habit, but right. And I think that should be it. I don't think that's unreasonable. Yeah. Is it unreasonable to require that he split his sick days with her or whatever? I mean, when it's put that way, right? When it's phrased that way, that's what I mean. I just think it could have been written differently. But the gist of it is, hey, look, you've got, on top of your vacation, you've got basically like 2 business weeks or more of sick time that you can use it. And she's right. If you don't use it and it resets, so what's the point? Because if they were banking them and then they would cash them out later, maybe it'd be something different. I can see that. But if they don't roll over and you just lose them, which is okay. I mean, there are companies that do that. Yeah. That's how we do it here. Then, I don't see a problem with that. How many sick days do we have? I think everybody gets 15 PTO days, which includes 6. You get 15 paid days off. Use them for wherever you want. Like it's just.
I never asked.
It's actually part of. We actually include that in all of the offer letters, right? We kind of lay it out. So I'm just guessing, but I think that's about right.
Okay. I mean, I feel like a stay-at-home mom is a full-time job. Like it is. It's her.
Especially
she was
with 4
saying,
children.
She was like, if I had a job, she does. That's her full-time job. You know. Absolutely. So I do get her where she's like, I should have my sick days too, and I get that. And like she said, if he really couldn't afford to lose that day of work, hire a sitter. I mean, I've heard Crohn's is really painful, and I've heard people can't even function the days they get like really bad. So I'm like, I think he should agree to that too, because he called her unreasonable for saying, well, the days that I'm really bad, I want to hire a sitter. Then if you don't want to do that, I feel like she should be allowed to do that as well.
Absolutely, it sounds like she's got a lot going on medically, and I can't even imagine being home with that many children. And just the 18-month-old alone, that's a lot. I mean, you have to constantly watch a little one like that.
Yeah, especially with the like Jennifer was saying, with the other ailments too.
Yeah.
And the fact that she's not requiring or asking he provide her with full-time assistance or anything, just on the on those days where it's really bad. So I don't think she's the asshole. I don't think that he's a total asshole, but I think he could have been more. I think this is more of a communication issue. I think the way it's being put out to him. If she approached him the same way she wrote that, I could see where he would get a little defensive and maybe standoffish. I think if it would have been maybe just presented differently, I don't think it's unreasonable.
All right. We have 2 more.
All right.
All right. This one is a what would Eric do? The title is Not Allowed to Call Out Sick. Hello, everyone. For context, I'm located in California. I've been working at a coffee shop for 3 years now, and I called out sick once because I was coming out of both ends. When I... That's what they said.
Okay.
All right. When I came in the next day, my boss threatened to fire me and said if I'm sick, I need to come in and he has to see my condition and then he might let me leave home early. I've gotten sick since then, but luckily I was able to get a coworker to cover my shift. I've never been late and he wants to promote me to a manager, so I know I'm a good employee, but I just don't think it's right to threaten to be fired if I'm too sick to come in. I never call out, and I feel especially since I'm working with food, I should not be coming in when I'm sick. Aren't there food laws that prohibit this? Any advice here?
You guys want to take this one first?
I don't want someone who's throwing up near me. No. She should just go in and throw up all over her boss.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember I had got food poisoning and I was working at Target and I could not stop throwing up to the point that I was so dehydrated from throwing up, they put 3 IV bags in me. That's how bad it was. And when I called to call off, he was like, well, are you sure you can't work just a little bit? And I was like, okay, well, if I show up and I throw up in front of you, is that enough? I was like, because I'm throwing up. And they were upset that I got up. I was like, I'm not going to go into work. I have food poisoning. Like I was dehydrated. So I know people are like this. It's ridiculous though. And him saying like, oh, I might let you leave early if I see your condition's too bad. That's an asshole move. As a boss, like that's an asshole move.
Yeah. Especially if she says she doesn't call out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So everyone gets sick once in a while.
And she's been working there 3 years.
Yeah.
So.
I would stay home sick, and you cannot be fired for calling in and taking a sick day under no circumstances. That's not. Now, having said that, if, for example, this person calls out sick every Monday and every Friday, or some kind of weird pattern, at some point, I think you can terminate them simply for not fulfilling their obligations, but it's not specifically because they're sick. It's because they're not on time, they're not completing their work, whatever, right? But if in this particular case, if she's been, a great valued employee, worthy of promotion, she's not making this a habit, and she's legitimately sick, I would have no fear whatsoever of retaliation. If they did, what would Eric do? Eric would go to a labor attorney immediately.
Yep.
I mean, hands down.
I would record myself throwing up and send it. Every time I would throw up, I would record it and send it to the boss. That's what I would do, just so they could see. I'm like, you can see my condition. I
don't know if I go that far, but I guess I understand what you're saying.
I think she should just give him what he wants. Go in there, get him sick, throw up on him. Yeah.
Throw up on all the counters, so they have to clean it up. Yep. Throw up on all the tables. Yep. All right, last one. Are you ready for this one, guys?
All right. Is this the doozy?
It is.
All right.
Am I the asshole for being sick and tired of hearing about babies and saying so?
Babies?
Babies. So everyone in my life, it feels like, is getting married or having babies or whatever. I'm in my early 30s, so I get it, but it's getting obnoxious. For the most part, I just keep my opinion to myself, but my close friends know I'm militantly child-free, so my not giving a flying monkey about their babies should not be a surprise. Anyways, on to the issue. My closest friend got pregnant in the summer, and I was devastated. I kind of thought she was in the same boat as me, but obviously not. I'll admit I reacted a bit poorly when she told me, but it was literally months ago. I noticed yesterday we hadn't talked or hung out in like 4 months. Not extremely unusual because we both get busy. So I asked her if we could go to a restaurant and catch up. She says she was dealing with some major health stuff right now, so she isn't going out at the moment. Cool, I understand that. So I asked if maybe I could come over for tea or something. And she was super dismissive, like it's not going to be the best time for me for a while. So I straight up just asked her if something was up. She told me she didn't really want to hang out right now because she knows I don't want to hear about any baby stuff. I told her to just talk about other stuff then. Like it shouldn't be that hard. She's still a person outside of being a spawn incubator, right? We argued a bit and she pretty much told me that she isn't in the physical or mental headspace to tiptoe around the fact that she's not pregnant with me, which I literally never asked her to do. And she brought up again me mentioning about abortion. I was mostly a joke, and in reference to me, I had just said, "Oh, geez, I'd already had been at an abortion clinic months ago," and she said she just couldn't handle the negativity right now. I told her she wasn't doing anyone favors turning into a mommy bot and to hit me up when she had a personality again. Which, yeah, was maybe a bit harsh, but she literally was saying to me we couldn't hang out because she couldn't not talk about being pregnant. It seems harsh, but those are her own words pretty much. I vented to some of our mutual friends, and the reactions are split. Some say she's overreacting, and some have talked to her recently and not had it be about pregnancy. So they don't get why her reasoning is she can't talk about pregnancy. Others say I'm a huge asshole because she's having major complications, so it's probably hard to just turn it off. Arguably, though, today was the first time I've heard of any complications, so how would I even have known that? Am I the asshole for being sick of this?
It sounds a bit extreme. Yeah, it is very hard when your friends are in a completely different plane than you are, but still, I mean, what did she call her friend? Like
a spawn incubator and a mommy bot.
Yes,
with no personality.
With no personality. Yeah, she clearly has a lot of issues with people getting pregnant.
Yeah. Okay. You all know I don't like kids. I think this was overboard. I do. I think this was overboard. I have pregnant friends, so I'm like, and I have no problem with them. I'll call them. How are you doing? How's the baby? All of that. I don't understand the big deal about being like, oh no, I don't want to hang out with you if you're going to talk about your baby. So I think they're the asshole here. I really do.
Yeah, that's great. I think people who don't have kids don't always realize how consuming it is. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to be a good friend, you got to understand where your friend is coming from.
Exactly. Like I would see it as like if I would get a dog and it's a puppy, I wouldn't shut up about the puppy. So I feel like it's the same with people who have kids. That's
so the puppy hopefully lets you sleep. you need to get that. People who have babies are not in their right mind. Yeah. They are not sleeping. Yeah, they don't get to do anything fun. They are just not in their right mind.
Yeah, that's true. You have to be very selfless to have a child. But I think this person's very selfish for how she acted.
What a bitch. I'm serious. I can't. I don't have anything against babies or no babies, and I have nothing against people and their decisions and their choices. Yeah. When people are pregnant, I think that's a very reasonable, normal topic of discussion.
Yeah.
Their bodies are going through changes. They're excited. Maybe, I don't know if this is a first child for this person or
it is.
But I'm saying, there's so much there, and if she wants to share that with her friend.
Yeah.
Now, I understand a little bit that sometimes you hear so much of the same thing so often. You're like, okay, if I hear about your fucking pregnancy glow one more time, right, I'm going to throw up. But to go that far, like, baby spawn incubator and mommy bot and get a personality, fuck you. You jealous fucking hag.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't be a good mom anyway.
Yeah.
And that's sad because I think most women are born with maternal instincts, although there are certainly a select few. No, I understand. I think most are.
Strongly disagree.
But either way, this filthy bitch is so out of pocket on this. Right. So, and I asked some friends and they thought I was a little bit, no, fuck you. The only reason those friends, quote unquote, said that you were a little bit harsh is because they probably didn't want to risk the wrath
Of what
of
you were going to
right,
say to
going
them.
off on
Yeah.
them for agreeing with your other friend.
Like, I had never heard the term spawn incubator, and I was
No,
like, where did that even come from?
And I get some people like to make up these sort of terms.
Yeah.
It's kind of like funny and it's a little witty.
Because I've heard people call kids crotch goblins, and I think that's hilarious.
Well, but I know, I'm saying, I get it.
Spawn incubator was a lot. Yeah.
I get it. And I understand that maybe she's trying to be humorous for Reddit or whatever.
Maybe. I don't think so. I think this is just her personality.
Well, that's what I'm going to say. But all this does to me is show me that this is kind of like where she's really coming from.
Yeah.
Even when people make sarcastic remarks, there's a little bit of truth behind everything.
Yeah.
So she probably really is this way. And to me, she's fucking toxic. I wouldn't want my unborn child around her. I wouldn't want my soon-to-be-born child around her.
No.
Fuck her. She really, she needs like a fucking house with like 3 cats. And that's it. That's about the extent of the family she's going to have. Yeah. And that's what she deserves.
She's 30 already with no kids.
I don't care how old she's going to die alone. And likely it's well deserved at this point.
Yeah. So. I hope she never has kids, honestly.
I'm going to say this now because we got to wrap up and because I'm starting to get my voice is going, my throat's getting sore. So first, I apologize to the listening audience if we're not going quite as long today as we normally do, and hopefully by next week or the week after we'll be 100%. But I mean, just as far as this last one goes, I don't know if there's anything else I can say. It's really disturbing. And again, like, how many people have the kind of time to go to Reddit and go this fucking detailed? Yeah. And are they going to really follow the advice of anonymous fucking people? That
because they got voted the asshole.
Yeah, for sure.
Major asshole.
Right. I mean, for sure. So anyway, all right. So Karina, tell them where they can find us.
All right. Thank you all for listening. Remember to follow our show on whatever you're streaming it on. Give us a follow on all our social medias. You can find us on the Bensomic Confirm on Instagram, Bensomic Confirm on TikTok and Twitter. You can find our website at eblawfirm.us, and you can email us at info@eblawfirm.us. Thank you all for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.